Hello. This video is a quick introduction to the new format of the monthly invoice. You will receive a summary invoice in PDF format and an enrollment detail file in Excel format that will contain two tabs. Tab 1 will show detail of enrollee transactions only, and Tab 2 will have a contract count summary. So let's start with the PDF summary invoice and how to read it. In the top left corner of the invoice, you will see the consortium name, and group ID. In the body of the summary, you will see that current charges and retroactivity will be grouped based on your current preferences. In this example, this invoice is grouped by these four classes: PPO Plan 1, 2, PPO Plan Individual, and PPO Plan Under 65. You will see a line for the current month's charges and a line for any retroactive charges or credits. There is a subtotal for each group, and you may also see a miscellaneous expenses section on your invoice for any additional charges or credits. There will be a description to identify what these charges or credits are. If a surplus credit is utilized for a particular invoice, you will see the credit in this column. Here on the right-hand side is a total column, and at the bottom of the invoice is an invoice grand total line that presents the total of each column. The amount due can be found at the top of the invoice in this quick reference box. In this quick reference box at the top are the coverage dates, the invoice ID, which can be used to reference this invoice when emailing or calling with any questions, the invoice created date, the invoice due date. An open balance amount will show unused credits or past due amounts, the current month's invoice amount prior to the surplus credit. This will show a surplus credit if surplus was elected and a surplus election form was submitted, and then the total amount that is due. Always look at this amount due for how much your payment should be. For your convenience, this summary invoice also includes a remittance sheet. It will be the last page and will include the same quick reference box that is on the first page. This remittance sheet will also include payment instructions and any special instructions that pertain to your invoice. The second part of the invoice that you will receive is an Excel file with the enrollee transaction detail and a summary of enrollee contract counts by tier. If you open the Excel enrollment detail file, the first tab lists the enrollee transactions. It is important to understand that this enrollment detail file will not contain miscellaneous adjustments or surplus credits that appear on the summary PDF. This file contains only enrollee information. The column headers should look very similar to the previous invoice format with the addition of a contract count column, which is the last column in this sheet. Now that you are receiving this information in an Excel file instead of PDF, you have the benefit of sorting and filtering your data to find specific enrollee information easily and quickly. If you are not too familiar with Excel, I would like to show you how to add a filter and then select and sort based on your preferences. After you have opened your enrollment details file, highlight the second row that has the column headers by clicking on this 2. In the menu at the top, go to the Data tab and choose Filter. As you can see, drop-down arrows will appear in the header of each column. Now you have the ability to sort and filter on the columns you choose. By clicking on the drop-down arrow in a column header, there are many options to choose from. You can sort any of the columns by ascending or descending. You can also filter down on specific data. For example, if I wanted to find all of the transactions related to the enrollee named last name 11, I would click on the drop-down in the last name column, uncheck Select All, and then scroll down to last name 11. Check it, click OK, And as you can see, only detail for this enrollee is displayed. Now, if you want to remove the filter so that all transactions are visible, click on the drop-down arrow in the last name column and choose Clear Filter from Last Name. Alternatively, you can instantly clear all filters from your worksheet by clicking on the Filter tab up in the Data tab. And as you can see, all of the drop-down arrows have disappeared. One last row to point out on the sheet is the top row of headers. These headers correspond to the column headers on the summary PDF. They identify where the rates are summarized on that PDF. Now, as you can see, columns N, O, P, and Q are all labeled as admin. If I highlight them to see the total amount, it is $939.19. If I go back to the PDF invoice summary, under the admin column, I can see it totals $939.19. Now back to the Excel file. The last column, as mentioned, is the contract count, and a summary of these contract counts by coverage tier is on the second tab. The total contract count is broken out by the individual coverage, which is in this column, and the multi-coverage tier. To identify the specific tiers that make up the multi-counts, you can refer to these columns. Please note that this report is in the process of being further developed and is subject to be changed. We are looking to format it so it's easier to read. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you find the improvements made to your invoice format will be helpful and provide you with greater flexibility to analyze your monthly enrollee billing data. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you.